Kody Brown, the former polygamist patriarch and star of Sister Spouses, is currently in a monogamous relationship. However, it remains to be seen whether he will ever take on additional spouses. Kody had 4 spouses and 18 offspring during his most productive period. Christine Brown, his third wife, divorced the polygamist in 2021, which resulted in a cascade of breakups. 3 of Kody's 4 spouses departed the marriage and the plural family permanently over a period of 14 months. Kody's aversion to polygamy was exacerbated by his experience with multiple divorces. However, this does not preclude him from acquiring another wife. Kody was in a monogamous relationship with his 4th and youngest wife, Robyn Brown, by the time Sister Wives Season 19 premiered. Robyn, who had dreamed of living in a polygamous family, found this to be distressing. In an ironic twist, her inclusion in the family may have precipitated its eventual dissolution. Kody was interested in Robyn when the series premiered in 2010. The Brown family's dynamics were altered, resentments intensified, and nothing remained the same after she and her 3 children from her first marriage joined. Will Kody and Robyn have additional wives? Robyn was always aware that she was marrying Kody to become part of the family. During the inaugural season of Sister Wives, she encountered the Browns, who resided in a communal compound in Utah. They were a unified and content family. She witnessed their mutual happiness and desired the same for herself and her offspring. Over time, Kody adopted Robyn's children, and they subsequently had 2 biological children of their own. Regrettably, Robyn's aspirations to experience polygamy would be shattered by the harsh realities of life. Robyn may have been enthusiastic about the prospect of living in a polygamous family. However, her recent experiences have caused her to develop a negative opinion of the practice. In a recent episode of Sister Wives Season 19, Robyn expressed her sentiments regarding the prospect of incorporating an additional wife into the family. The mother of 5 admitted that the events that have transpired in her family have caused her to feel extremely apprehensive about plural marriage. She continued to elaborate that there is a significant amount of trauma present. Additionally, she stated that she would require a high level of security in her relationship with any potential sister-in-law. In the wake of the events that transpired during the most recent episode of Sister Wives Season 19, Kody and Robyn contemplate their sentiments regarding polygamy. Kody's response was unequivocal when Robyn inquired whether he mourned being a member of a polygamous family. "I am not interested in plural marriage anymore," Kody stated, "and I do not want to be dismissive with my response, as we were so dedicated to this." Later, he addressed the cameras. "I am not interested in pursuing another woman because I am not interested in the headache, the questions, the struggles, or the uncertainty surrounding trust. I am not in that location." Kody was meticulous in exclaiming that he did not harbor any remorse regarding his membership in a plural family. The Sister Wives Season 19 star admitted that his children were a blessing and could not deny it. Despite Kody's close relationship with his children during their childhood, he rarely communicates with many of his elder children in the present day. Kody's elder children developed feelings of neglect and resentment toward him following his marriage to Robyn. Numerous offspring of Kody are either married or in long-term relationships. Not a single one of them has chosen a plural marriage. His 3 ex-wives have since relocated since his departure from Kody. Christine is remarried to David Woolley, and they maintain a monogamous relationship without any intention of expanding it. Mary Brown, Kody's former first wife, is currently unmarried and seeking a partner with whom to share her life. Janelle Brown, Kody's erstwhile second wife, has determined that she is not currently interested in courting anyone, particularly another polygamist. The Sister Wives actors were all as traumatized by polygamy as Kody and Robyn were. Kody Brown, the patriarch of Sister Wives, has been explicit in his assertion that his relationships with his older children and his relationship with his remaining wife, Robyn Brown, are currently distinct. This implies that he is excluding her from that aspect of his life in order to accommodate his own desires. For years, Kody, the father of 18 children, has been grappling with issues involving the majority of his children. The patriarch appears to be making progress. despite the fact that he spent a portion of the opening of Sister Wives Season 19 claiming to be making reparations with his children when he was not. Cody has been making an effort to keep Robyn informed about his relationships with his children, despite the fact that his divorces from Christine Brown, Janelle Brown, and Mary Brown have appeared to influence his children's perceptions of their father. Cody has been confiding in Robyn about the challenges he has encountered in his relationships with the children, as his remaining wife. However, he has also been candid about the extent to which they struggle with her involvement in the outreach process. Cody's conduct has been problematic over the years. However, both he and the children have endeavored to maintain a close relationship. In a recent episode of Sister Wives Season 19, Cody disclosed to Robyn that he had been visiting his daughter with Christine Brown and Aspen Thompson when a few of his other children arrived. Although he had not anticipated the presence of his children, it was a pleasant surprise. However, the subsequent conversation did not seem to be of the typical nature for the group. Despite the fact that Cody and his children have had a fraught relationship over the years, the situation has become more challenging as a result of his divorces from their mothers. As a result, Cody is now primarily responsible for Robyn's children, rather than other groups. Despite Robyn's inability to observe the conversation, which was more of a confrontation than a conversation, Cody disclosed that he and the children had discussed their relationships and their expectations. Cody and his children had reached a point of impasse in their relationship, as he had heard the children's apprehensions regarding his behavior and had implemented some positive changes. Although Robyn appeared to be engaged in Cody's discourse, it was evident that Cody's positive interactions with his children posed a threat to her. Although visiting his children without Robyn's presence was advantageous for him, it has become evident over time that Cody's primary concern is her when she is present. Despite the fact that he has 18 children who require him to varying degrees, Cody's conduct is frequently oriented toward his wife rather than his family when Robyn is present. This behavior has been evident since the commencement of his marriage to Robyn, and it has been a means for her to ensure that Cody is preoccupied with her rather than any of his other marriages, children, or responsibilities. Robyn has been making an effort to ensure that she is involved in the relationships Cody has with his children. However, it has become increasingly apparent that he is attempting to exclude her from the equation in recent years. Cody appears to have resolved to alter his approach and establish more shared relationships with his children that do not involve his wife, after learning of the detrimental effects of Robyn's presence on his relationships with them. Cody appears to be prioritizing his children over his wife in a display of self-awareness. The protagonist of Sister Wives may finally experience some development. Sister Wives is a far departure from its former self. Following a united polygamist family as they navigated their hectic lives, the program premiered on TLC in 2010. Cody Brown was introducing his fourth wife, Robyn, whom he spiritually married during the first season and later legally married in 2014 after divorcing his first wife, Mary. Cody and Mary had been married since 1990, and he had taken on 2 additional spouses shortly thereafter, Janelle in 1993 and Christine in 1994. However, these were spiritual marriages. Nevertheless, the Brown family is a mere shadow of its former self now. The relationship's cracks were evident from the outset and only exacerbated as time progressed. Christine was the first to depart Cody in 2021, following a 27-year partnership. Janelle followed in late 2022, and Mary confirmed her separation in 2023 following 3 decades of marriage. Currently, Robyn is the sole individual who is in an unintentional monogamous relationship with Cody, a relationship that she has explicitly expressed her dissatisfaction with. Fans have inhaled a murmur of relief as 3 of the 4 spouses have finally departed. However, it required decades to achieve this, despite the emotional neglect and favoritism that were depicted on the screen for years. It is surprising that the spouses remained for an extended period of time, given Cody's egotistical conduct. However, why did they do so? It is conceivable that the Browns' religious heritage was one of the most potent factors that maintained their unity. The early seasons were characterized by the frequent discussion and demonstration of their religious practices. However, this occurs less frequently today. The Browns were members of the Apostolic United Brethren, a fundamentalist Mormon organization that maintains that polygamy is essential for attaining the highest echelon of paradise. Therefore, although plural marriage is not mandatory, it is promoted. Although divorce is technically permissible, it is considered a violation of the covenant and is therefore discouraged. The majority of the Browns were born into polygamy. Christine, Mary, and Cody all originated from plural families. Janelle was reared as a Mormon, but she was not a polygamist. This was the case until her mother became Cody's father's second wife, which technically rendered them step-siblings. This is how Cody and Janelle first encountered each other. Despite the fact that Robyn was the sole wife who did not have a polygamist heritage, she appeared to fully embrace the lifestyle after she was spiritually married into the family. In the Browns' faith, divorce is a significant decision that carries significant repercussions. The fear of being spiritually condemned or shunned by their community was likely very real for spouses like Christine and Mary, who were reared in the culture. The act of leaving a plural marriage is not merely the act of abandoning a husband. It signifies the loss of one's eternal family and celestial blessings. This religious pressure may have resulted in a profound sense of remorse that exacerbated the wives' reluctance to leave Cody, despite their profound dissatisfaction with him. In addition to religious duress, the Brown household was also influenced by emotional and psychological factors. Cody's behavior has undergone a significant transformation, with longtime sister spouses viewers observing him favor Robyn over his other spouses. Cody's legal divorce from Mary in 2014 was one of the most significant turning points in his life. Subsequently, he married Robyn and adopted her children. It conveyed a distinct message to the family that Robyn's needs were of paramount importance. The partiality was even more difficult to disregard during the COVID-19 pandemic. Cody declined to visit his other spouses and children due to safety concerns and chose to remain with Robyn. However, he did not consistently adhere to the same social distancing guidelines. Cody incited resentment by gaslighting the other spouses and accusing them of disloyalty if they expressed concerns. It is possible to contend that Robyn also contributed to the preservation of the power structure. She endorsed Cody's stringent COVID-19 regulations, which served to isolate the family and maintain Cody's proximity to her. Robyn promoted a victim mentality, and her actions typically served to enhance her status within the family, rather than benefiting others. Cody and Robyn's manipulation strategies, including favoritism, gaslighting, and guilt-tripping, likely caused the other spouses to second-guess their dissatisfaction and compete for Cody's approval, thereby making it more difficult for them to break the unhealthy cycle. It is also conceivable that the spouse's financial obligations impeded their ability to depart without difficulty. The Browns have been notoriously financially challenged in the past, despite the TLC income. Mary and Cody filed for bankruptcy in 2005 with a debt of more than $229,000 prior to the show. Janelle had previously filed for personal bankruptcy, also citing debt several years prior. In 2018, the Browns relocated to Arizona and acquired numerous parcels of land in Coyote Pass with the intention of constructing numerous residences for their entire family. Nevertheless, the construction process was never initiated as a result of their financial difficulties. Eventually, the plans were further impeded by Christine's departure, which was followed by the two other spouses. The Coyote Pass land was sold and their financial ties were severed only recently, years after the plural marriages had failed. Divorce was not a straightforward process for the Browns. It involved the potential for instability and the loss of access to shared financial resources. The spouses may have felt trapped as a result of this financial dread, as they were uncertain about how they would sustain independently after decades of intertwined assets and debts. Mary, Christine, and Janelle's prolonged association with Cody, despite their apparent dissatisfaction, can be attributed to a multitude of factors. It remains to be seen whether Robyn will ever follow suit. However, given that she has expressed her desire not to be Kody's sole wife, she may abandon him if he refuses to reopen their marriage. I believe that we are finally beginning to evolve from one Mr. Kody Brown, as evidenced by the most recent episode of Sister Wives. Hell may have frozen over. Kody, the patriarch of a formerly polygamous family, has been experiencing significant emotional distress in recent seasons as a result of the departure of 3 of his 4 spouses. For the majority of Sister Wives' tenure, Kody was married to 4 different women: Mary Brown, Janelle Brown, Christine Brown, and Robyn Brown. The Brown family was rearing 18 children between them, and everything appeared to be going well. The family relocated from their bucolic cul-de-sac in Las Vegas to Flagstaff, Arizona, after Kody and his wives acquired a 14-acre property known as Coyote Pass. They intended to construct 4 distinct residences on the property in order to live happily ever after. 3 out of 4 marriages did not survive, and their relocation in 2018 was temporarily suspended due to the pandemic. Christine was the first to declare her intention to depart Kody, and Janelle and Mary followed suit. Robyn and Kody continue to be married. Kody's character is finally beginning to evolve in Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 22. Kody had a few years to resolve his failed marriages after Christine left him in 2021. It is encouraging to observe that Kody is finally beginning to reach a state of acceptance regarding his divorces. As healing is not a linear process and each individual is on their own journey, he is beginning to comprehend that the passage of time facilitates progress. He stated that his divorces had resulted in him becoming self-destructive, which nearly led to him sabotaging his marriage to Robyn. Kody is exhibiting a level of maturation that I have not observed him exhibit before. He is candid about his shortcomings and the manner in which his rage exacerbated the family's disintegration. I can comprehend the reasons for Kody's downward decline during his divorces. He is a man who was so fervently convinced of the benefits of polygamy that he exposed his family to reality television cameras in 2010. His desire to serve as an example for others and demonstrate the viability of polygamy was so strong that he was willing to expose his family to the legal consequences of being plural. The family was compelled to relocate from Utah to Las Vegas after they went public, as they would have more protection for their unconventional lifestyle in Las Vegas. He has disclosed that he perceives himself as less valuable in light of the departure of certain spouses, and he is concerned that Robyn may no longer desire him. Kody, Mary, Christine, and Janelle were not the only ones affected by the divorces. The entire family was affected. I have never heard Kody say anything like, "Plural marriage is difficult." I perceived it as solely detrimental to me from my limited perspective. However, I neglected to acknowledge the extent to which this would be a challenge for my spouses. Kody has finally come to the realization that despite the fact that the marriages appeared to be going well from his perspective, he was not considering his spouses, with the exception of Robyn. He did not perceive them as sentient beings with desires and aspirations that he could never satisfy, and their departure from him was actually the most advantageous course of action for them. Kody is also reaching a point of acceptance with respect to the fractured relationships he has with many of his elder children. Kody's decisions during the pandemic contributed to the dissolution of his marriage with Janelle. Kody was so apprehensive about contracting COVID-19 that he withdrew from everyone, including the majority of his children. When Janelle observed that Kody was prioritizing his family with Robyn over their own, she resolved to part ways with him. Janelle will consistently prioritize her children over Kody. In episode 22, Kody recounts a journey he took to visit some of his elder daughters during a Valentine's dinner with Robyn. Yes, he continues to attribute the decline of his relationships with his elder children to his ex-partners. However, he is currently making an effort to rectify the situation. He informed Robyn that he did not feel at home in certain aspects of their lives following the separations. However, as a parent, he should have been able to surmount these emotions and strive to maintain strong relationships with his children. He failed to do so, which resulted in a significant amount of resentment. Cody was contemplative regarding the influence of the divorces on his relationship with Robyn during their Valentine's Day dinner. He claimed that his anger was so intense that it nearly destroyed his marriage to Robyn. Robyn was in the process of analyzing the breakups on her own. The other spouse's departure was also a betrayal to her, as she had always imagined growing old together. Cody's decision to drive her away did not alleviate the situation. Cody informed Robyn, "I am disheartened because the challenges of the past 3 years have had an impact on us. I would like to extend my apologies for the dark period I experienced and the harm it caused you. It was unjust to you." Cody continued to elaborate that his rejection of his wife's departure caused him such an immense amount of pain that he nearly jeopardized his marriage to Robyn. "My spirit was so broken. I was self-destructive." Cody ultimately issued an apology for the suffering that each of his wives endured. His contrition serves as an opportunity for him to acknowledge his mistakes. He is no longer behaving as the victim he has been for the past 3 years. It is evident that Cody has been engaging in some form of introspection, and he is gradually reaching a state of acceptance regarding the events that transpired. Cody has been endeavoring to recover from his divorces for several seasons. During the process of recovery, he expressed extremely damaging remarks regarding his previous marriages. He asserted that he had never been attracted to Christine and had never adored any of them. However, this new Cody acknowledges that the statements were made in fury and were not intended. Cody stated that he does not hold his ex-wives accountable for their animosity toward him. He was also filled with rage toward them. Subsequently, he declared that despite his assertion that he harbored no affection for them, he did. He is simply repelled by this circumstance. This is the most mature, self-aware version of Cody that I have ever observed, and I have watched every season of Sister Wives. The episode concludes with Cody expressing his aspiration for the possibility of them all becoming companions in the future. Time truly does cure all wounds, and Cody's development serves as evidence of this.